Road shows up. They're from Scotland. They fly over. We're at the studio in Jersey City. It's this new studio that we built.
All the band stuff has been flown in from Scotland. It's all set up. We've done all this prep to the studio for the record.
6 dudes in a band, 2 drummers. It's just like a shit ton of gear, mics, cables, mic stands.
Band get their apartment. We pull up and the whole place is shut down. Right? I mean, Will was there first, I think.
I get there Saturday afternoon just to pick some stuff up, and I'm stopped by a security guard on the way in who tells me that the building's been condemned and nobody's allowed in the building.
So what's your prediction?
We're gonna get in and take our shit and go. Yeah.
There's no way they wouldn't. There's so many fucking companies that work there that have to let us in get here.
What are you feeling?
I'm feeling the sheer anxiety of pulling up to that gate.
What do you think you're gonna see when we turn the corner? A lot of pissed off people,
Saying sorry.
or nothing really at all? Ooh, closed gate.
It didn't really sink in. Like, we're like, all right, the building's been condemned. It's probably some bullshit fire thing. Like, it'll get sorted. Like, there was not so much of a worry. They're like, it's shut down. We don't know when it's going to be back open. But everybody was like, nobody was saying what was really happening yet.
No one knew anything. No one was telling the truth. All we knew is that we were stuck and we couldn't get into our own studio.
Building is closed by the fire department today. There were some tenants that had some big violations to what should be done in the building, not you guys from the other studio. Okay. But some stuff has to be removed from the building, so they're working on it right now. You know,
Wednesday was the first day we actually were able to get face-to-face with people in the building. This is already 2 days into us supposed to be starting a record. They still didn't have answers. It was like the same thing it was on Saturday.
Pretty much no one was giving us an answer on anything.
The big question is,
when?
Everyone seemed to be programmed to not be giving out information.
Don't go there. I don't know.
I just spent a lot of money building my studio. Like, I just spent like money I didn't even have building my studio.
It was like having an anxiety dream, but it was real.
Kelly was this sweet real estate lady that got me the building. See what she has to say about all this.
Hi, this is Kelly. I will be out of the office until Monday, August 25th.
All of a sudden, most of the people that I had originally dealt with were gone. That immediately let me know, oh, there's some shit going down.
Fuck Jersey City.
This guy's such a fucking idiot.
Call the office, speak to Gerard.
The new guys that we had never met before sitting outside in the suits, they didn't have an answer. The dude Gerard, who was the one who was the sort of one of the managers inside the facility.
What I don't understand is why did you take my plans and let me build that in the first place?
I really don't know.
I was just like, you know what? I'm going to keep calling. And I'm sure I was one of a number of people doing the same thing. I mean, the building was massive. It wasn't, it wasn't just us. There was hundreds of businesses in this building. It was a massive, massive corrupt scam. They got the livelihoods of 100 people and families to not only turn around and get them a 24-hour an emergency appeal, 24 hours, to turn their building from storage to workspaces. Not only did they use those people to get that, but they're going to use those people to update their illegal building.
We knew more than a lot of the people in the building, and we knew stuff that the building managers didn't want us to know.
The building has been condemned because their generator that runs the sprinkling system doesn't work. There's no sprinkling system in the building. Oh.
Through other people that we knew in the Hudson County, system, we were able to find a little bit more out about what the fuck was really happening.
He literally went right inside and through this friend and found out the whole shit.
We were being told one story by these guys, and we called through friends. I called people in the Jersey City Fire Department to see what was to try to get an inside view.
Sheen dropped a line to one of the guys one of the building managers, and he was just like, "What? How do you know that? Where did you find that out?"
Yep.
So it was obviously, it was pretty obvious that a lot of shit went down and went sour, and they were just trying to keep it hush hush.
He said, call him. Chief construction officer around here with this other guy to request removal of personal equipment and do it now.
We just needed to get inside. We just needed, I mean, all right, I already thrown away the idea that it wasn't going to be at 521 Studios. But we still had all of our shit in there. We had to get inside and just get our stuff out, and the whole shit was on lockdown. So we were just chasing answers, and no one was giving us, the answer was no answer from everybody and every person.
Towards the end of it, we realized that they weren't coming up with answers, and it didn't look like we were working there anytime soon from what we had heard. So we just said fuck it, and we went in there and basically demanded we get our shit out of there.
When they finally let us get the gear so many days later, we had to be escorted in by like a guy who was threatening us, telling us that he could lose his job and he can go to jail for just even letting us in the building.
And in the course of a 24-hour day, we broke down an entire studio, moved it over here, and set up a whole nother live recording room.
I just wanted to get my shit out and make a record.
I don't think the band ever really caught the severity of it all.
We were just thinking, how do we tell these guys? They've come over like, to work with Producer Machine, and come all the way from Scotland, and they're flying into a fucking Sopranos episode, literally.
I feel like my opinions previously of New Jersey is all about the Sopranos. It's kind of like when we're coming over the bridge in the car, and it's just like the starting sequence for Sopranos. I feel like, that's here, so it almost makes perfect sense.
We were never really fully telling the band the severity of what was going on, and we were only learning the severity of what was going on in pieces.
That was a bit of a shock, but well, we dealt with it.
I didn't really care because I got a day to hang out in Manhattan.
How did the band deal with it?
Oh, they were cool. They're awesome. You know, faith in their leader.
I thought that guy owned this city, but if there's a group of people that are bigger than Machine, then hell.
Yeah, we lost a little time, but we caught up towards the end.
We got back to the main Machine shop. We're here, where we're filming. And we set up here, and this is a great place. And we did fine.
It was like it never happened at the end.
I was so involved in the record and so many things happening that it was these intense days, and then it was gone.
In the end, I think we hid a disaster from a band and pulled off a very small miracle in a short amount of time.
Our fans are going to shit themselves when you hear this record.
In the end, I have to say, man, we pulled it out. In the end, the record was awesome. It's funny, I have this formula, which is tragedy plus time equals comedy.